When the news broke, Hollywood went silent. Diane Keaton, the woman who defined charm, wit, and authenticity, was gone. Fans refused to believe it. How could one of cinema's brightest souls vanish so suddenly? But just days later, a newly released death certificate would reveal the quiet, devastating truth behind her final hours. And what it showed left everyone stunned. Before we dive into the emotional final story of Diane Keaton, I just want to thank every single one of you watching right now. If you love uncovering the untold truths behind Hollywood's biggest stars, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps this small channel grow and bring you more stories that deserve to be remembered. All right, let's get into it. It was the morning of October 11th, 2025. Reports began flooding in from People magazine, The New York Times, and CBS News. Diane Keaton, Academy Award winner, Hollywood icon, eternal free spirit, had passed away at 79 years old. At first, the cause wasn't clear. Some said it was sudden. Others whispered that she'd been battling something quietly. No one knew for sure, until official documents painted the heartbreaking picture of what really happened behind closed doors. According to USA Today, the death certificate listed the immediate cause as primary bacterial pneumonia. No other conditions, no hidden diseases, just a sudden infection that struck fast and gave her only a few days between the onset and the end. She passed away peacefully at a Santa Monica hospital, and her body was cremated on October 14th. For many, the simplicity of that report felt unreal. How could someone who spent decades lighting up the screen disappear in silence, with no public warning? Emergency responders had rushed to her home in Los Angeles. Neighbors recalled the quiet hum of sirens that morning, unaware that inside was a Hollywood legend fighting for her life. She was taken to the hospital, but the illness moved too fast. Her family stayed private, refusing interviews, protecting Diane's dignity. There were no media leaks, no paparazzi intrusions, just a silent goodbye shared between loved ones who knew the world would soon be mourning. But even in death, Diane Keaton managed to do what she'd always done best: live on her own terms. Long before the red carpets and golden statues, Diane Hall, later known as Diane Keaton, was just a dreamer from Los Angeles. At 26 years old, she took on a role that would change everything: Kay Adams in The Godfather. It was the beginning of a legacy. From Annie Hall to The First Wives Club, Father of the Bride, and Something's Gotta Give, she became a symbol of independence, quirkiness, and unapologetic honesty. In 1977, she won the Oscar for Annie Hall, and the world fell in love with her forever. But fame never defined her. She once said, "I never wanted to be anyone's wife, and I never wanted to be anyone's mother. I wanted to be me," and that's exactly what she was, unapologetically herself. Behind her signature suits, hats, and infectious laugh was a woman deeply passionate about the world around her. She adored her animals. She fought for the unhoused community, quietly donating and volunteering without fanfare. Friends described her as fiercely private, sometimes even lonely, a woman who loved deeply but lived deliberately. She'd never been about Hollywood's noise. She found peace in quiet moments, surrounded by her pets, her art, and her memories. That's why her family's statement carried so much emotion. They said, "The Keaton family are very grateful for the extraordinary messages of love and support they have received on behalf of their beloved Diane." And in her memory, they asked for something simple: donations to animal shelters and local food banks, the causes she held closest to her heart. As the story spread, social media filled with tributes. Actors, directors, and fans from every corner of the world shared photos, quotes, and memories. Hollywood icons wrote about how Diane had shaped them: her humor, her courage, her unmatched sense of style. Clips from Annie Hall and The Godfather flooded timelines. People rewatched her movies not out of nostalgia, but out of love, because through every scene, every smile, and every perfectly awkward laugh, Diane Keaton had made the world feel just a little bit lighter. But even in grief, there was beauty, the kind only a legend can leave behind. Diane Keaton's story wasn't just about fame, it was about freedom. the courage to live, love, and age on her own terms. She redefined what it meant to be a woman in Hollywood, not by following trends, but by breaking them. Today, her films still make people laugh, cry, and reflect. Her fashion still inspires. Her words still comfort. And her absence, though deeply felt, reminds the world that real icons never truly disappear. Because legends like Diane Keaton don't fade into history. They live forever in the stories we tell and the hearts they've touched. If you found this story moving, don't forget to subscribe, because Hollywood's brightest lights always have deeper stories behind the spotlight.